Hello all, this is Kiriti from KL University. Today I'm going to explain project on AWS translating text from one language to another language. So this is the pictorial representation of our project. In this project, totally we are going to use 4 services: Amazon S3 bucket, AWS Lambda function, Amazon Translator, and IAM for granting access to the all resources that we are using, identity access management. So first you need to create 2 buckets in our project, one as an input bucket and another as the output bucket. So input bucket contains the file. So in the input bucket you need to upload the file which contains the text you want to convert into, and at the end of the project in the output bucket the file will be generated with the translated text and Amazon Lambda function. So this function is the main part of our project, which includes the Python code which calls the Amazon translator to translate the text, and will give trigger as our input bucket, because when you upload the file to the input bucket, it directly triggers the Lambda function. And in the Lambda function we are using the Boto3, which makes a authenticated API calls to the Amazon translator to translate the text, and after translating the text it generates the file and stores in the our output bucket. So this is the explanation of the project. Let's go into the practical session. So this is login into your AWS console, and as the first step you need to create 2 buckets. One is an input bucket and another one is an output bucket. So let's get started. So this is our input bucket name. Don't worry, this was the Python code we are going to use in the Lambda function. I will explain it later. So give name to your input bucket. Make sure it was unique and leave all settings as default and click on create bucket. And same goes with the output bucket. So give name to your output bucket, leave all settings as default, click on create bucket. So it was saying that, wait, backspace. Yeah. Now you created your 2 buckets. Now let's configure IAM. So I already created a role which contains the permissions for our project. I will explain. So go to the roles. So you can, so this is the role I am currently using, which contains the permission for all of the services that we are using. Let's see. See, it contains Amazon S3 full access. So we are using the bucket. So further, and AWS Lambda full access, because we are attaching this role to the Lambda function, right? And CloudWatch full access, because you can see the metrics and logs in the CloudWatch, and translate full access for the Amazon translator. After attaching these 4 policies to your role, you can use your uh, role for the Amazon Lambda function. So I will show how to create the role. So you can click on here, create role, and give for what service you are going to attach. See, in this project we are attaching to the Lambda function. So for Lambda function, and click on next. And as before I said, you need to attach the 4 policies: uh, S3 bucket, S3 bucket full access, AWS Lambda function full access, um, CloudWatch full access, and Translate full access. So after clicking this, you can create the function. So once again I'm showing. So these are the 4 policies we are using. Next, after creating the IAM role, create now it's the task to create the Lambda function. Now I will give the brief about the code. So this was the Python code I was taken, and I will give the brief about the code. So this was, we are importing the Boto 3. Boto 3 is the main part of the code which makes authenticated API calls to the Amazon Translator and S3 bucket, and we are initializing two values here. S3 client equals to boto.client S3, which is for to access the S3 bucket, and translate boto.client translate. This is for the access to the Amazon Translator. And next let's go to the main function. So in this, at the output bucket, you need to give your output bucket. See, we created two buckets, right? One output bucket. So you need to give here the name of your output bucket, and in these two lines, it will directly dynamically collect the file from your output bucket, as you mentioned here, output bucket, right? So it will dynamically take the output bucket files, and next it will try to read the document and split the each line of your document by using dot split lines. Your document contains many lines, right? So it will split each lines and it will call a function. See, this was the function TranslatedText, which so in this TranslatedText, it passes each line. So already we discussed. So using the split lines, it splits each line, and each line was passed to this function, and what language you want to convert it into. Example, I am translating it into Telugu. So I'm passing TE. So it we are getting the line and the desired language, and this will call the Amazon translator and give the translated text back. And here we are appending each line and making it into the file, right? See here. So each translated contains the translated text, and final document contains each line array. Like, see, we are placing each line, so you will get final output. So if we are writing all this in a try block, so if any error occur, then it will print some error in our console, so we can watch this in the CloudWatch metrics. So this was the code. Now let's create the Lambda function. Go to the console, click on Lambda. Create function. So function name, let's take translator, because it's translating text, right? We are currently using the Python language, right? So I'm going to take Python 3.9. You can use any language, you can choose any language you want to do. And going to the roles, already we created a role, right? Translator. So choose the role and create the function. So finally we created the function. Now copy the code. Don't worry, I will give this entire code in the description of this video. Now change this entire code with this. And now click on deploy. So it takes some time, your code is being deployed. Yeah, you finally created your Lambda function. Now let's add trigger. So already I said that. So we'll create trigger as our input bucket. So when you upload the files to input bucket, it directly calls the Lambda function. So that's what we are doing here. So source select as S3. In the S3, choose the bucket. Choose the input bucket as our trigger. Leave every settings as default. And now add the trigger. So your trigger was also added. Now your function was ready. So let's test our function by uploading the sample files into the S3 bucket. So go upload, click on upload and choose any. So choose the file you want to convert it into. So I'm going to add files. Let's see. So I created a text file which contains the text that we are going to translate now. So I gave simple sample text like hello busy folks. Hope you are understanding this video lecture. Thank you. So now I created sample text file. So while creating your text file, make sure you add .txt as your extension, else it will throw an error. So now I'm uploading this our file into the input bucket. So it will trigger the Lambda function and generate translate output file into the output bucket. So click on upload, then add files. So our sample text file. Now click on upload. So you are successfully uploaded your input file. So now let's check whether the output was generated or not. Yes, finally we did with our project. See, you just uploaded your file in the input bucket, and when you uploaded the file in the input bucket, so Lambda function got triggered, and by using Boto3, it called the AWS Translator and generated your output file, and it pushed into the your output bucket. So let's download this file. So see, in the Lambda function code, uh, I kept the language as TE, that means Telugu. So we are converting the auto language into the Telugu. So this is our text, and finally our text got converted into the desired language. So you can convert it into any language. And if you got any errors and you want to check status, already in the role we mentioned the CloudWatch full access. So go to the logs and AWS Translator. So this was our function, right? Click on this and you will have the recent logs. See, it says, so we gave the sample.txt file in the input bucket and triggered by C. This is what I explained in the starting. So then I said each line will get translated. So see, first line, second line, and it got appended, and finally pushed into our output bucket. So finally, this is our AWS project on translating text from one language to another language using AWS service. Don't worry, I'll put the code on the description, and hope this video finds you helpful. Thank you.